Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, May 2, 2023. Jamaica's quest for constitutional reform is not merely a way of shedding the remnants of its colonial past, but a means of empowering the populace to demand accountability from its elected officials, says Prime Minister Andrew Holness. The Prime Minister made that assertion during a recent ceremony to hand over a new male ward at the Westmoreland Infirmary. Mr. Holness says the move towards becoming a republic is a signal to both the state and the people that we must take greater responsibility for ourselves and for the goals and missions we set ourselves. He says it is intended that the change will provide the apparatus needed to hold people in authority to account for the delivery of services to citizens.
We must not be comfortable with lax implementation and execution of projects. We must not be comfortable with missed deadlines and poor quality of service. And we must make our constitutional arrangements such that they support the efficiency and dignity of the state.
The government is currently conducting a series of public consultations to sensitize citizens about the constitutional reform process, which will see the island moving towards becoming a republic. The Prime Minister says the public consultations, which are being led by the Constitutional Reform Committee, will engage citizens on how we are going to structure our governance and governmental arrangements. But he stresses that this is not something that will happen overnight. The Ministry of Tourism is moving to remove entry fees from all its public attractions to give free access to all Jamaicans. Portfolio Minister Edmund Bartlett announced the measure at a destination assurance meeting with stakeholders after a tour of several locations in St. Elizabeth recently.
From now on, every public asset that tourism will contribute to through the TEF will ensure free entry for all Jamaicans. But when you go in, you will have to make sure that you consume the assets within at a price so that we can keep maintaining at the highest level those public assets.
Minister Bartlett adds that the no entry fee measure will also be applied to the 3 major beach development projects for the 2023-2024 fiscal year. Other regulatory changes will include the free licensing of all attractions.
We are going to abolish that requirement for a fee and be able to license everybody to be able to accommodate all the visitors. But while we do that, we are going to insist on a minimum consistency in the quality of the offering.
The measures are part of the Tourism Destination Assurance Strategy to safeguard Jamaica's tourism sector. Meanwhile, Jamaica's efforts to get a foothold in the lucrative United Arab Emirates UAE travel market gets a major push this week as Minister Edmund Bartlett participates in the Arabian Travel Market Trade Show and other events. The minister arrived in Dubai on Saturday ahead of starting a round of business meetings yesterday with tourism stakeholders and a series of interviews with leading media entities that have a wide reach into the business and travel markets. He says the visit to Dubai will help to cement relationships that have already been established. The primary focus is on the lucrative Arabian Travel Market event and the World Free Zones Organization's annual international conference and exhibition, ACE 2023, currently being held in Dubai. ACE is a premier event that brings together policymakers, industry leaders, investors, and experts from around the world to discuss the latest trends, challenges, and opportunities in the global free zones industry. It is being held from May 1 to 3. The internationally recognized firm Statista projects that UAE's travel and tourism market will produce revenue of $1.28 billion this year, and Minister Bartlett says Jamaica is making progress, which should allow the country to get a slice of that market. He says the goal is to have the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay serve as a hub for the Caribbean, whereby travelers from the UAE will have the option of booking multi-destinations and experience the varied and exciting cultural offerings of the islands in the region. While in Dubai, Minister Bartlett's itinerary includes a host of meetings, including with top government and private sector leaders and investors. The minister returns to the island on Friday, May 12. Expo Jamaica 2023, which concluded on the weekend, is expected to help generate new markets for Jamaica. That's the word from Senator Aubin Hill, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce. Senator Hill, who was addressing the opening ceremony for the Expo, says the event is in keeping with his ministry's strategic objective of increasing exports and local and foreign direct investment in Jamaica.
The opportunities provided by the Expo in connecting the world to Jamaica are many.
He insists that Jamaica must increase exports exponentially to turn the tide of its perennial negative trade balance of $4 billion and create a positive trade balance.
I will continue to lead the charge to expand existing and find new markets for Jamaican goods and services by taking business delegations to different cities and countries.
The 48th staging of Expo Jamaica attracted 250 exhibitors and 650 registered buyers, 300 of which arrived from 30 other countries. It was sponsored by the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce and held under the theme Connecting the World to Jamaica. Portland and St. Elizabeth can look forward to receiving new ambulances. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Desmond McKenzie says arrangements for the new ambulances were concluded with the Culture, Health, Arts, Sports and Education Fund, Chase Fund. Speaking at the opening ceremony of a new male ward at the Westmoreland Infirmary, Mr. McKenzie lamented that many infirmaries were operating without such services.
An ambulance is a very important part of the requirements. And I'm pleased to announce that the parishes of St. Elizabeth and Portland will benefit shortly from 2 new ambulances that will be provided by the Chase Fund.
And finally, the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development is again raising concerns about the number of homeless people being attacked across the island. According to Minister McKenzie, there has been a 65% increase in the attacks on homeless people, and this is something the country should be worried about.
We have seen a 65% increase in the attacks on the homeless population across the country. And as a society, we must use every ounce of strength in our body to condemn these actions. This is not something that we must support.
While pointing to 3 street people being killed in Portland, the minister called on the authorities at the Portland Municipal Corporation to fast-track efforts to provide housing for homeless people in the parish.
We have the funds in the ministry to build a shelter for the homeless population. Portland, we are waiting on you to provide the land so we can build this facility.
Minister McKenzie was speaking at the opening ceremony for the Westmoreland Infirmary's new male ward recently. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.